Welcome back to the Spokane Convention Center, where the red team holds an 11-9 lead in the second quad rugby match of the National Veteran Wheelchair Games here in Spokane, Washington. I'd like to remind you this event is being sponsored by Johnson & Johnson Healthcare Systems. So for the red team, the formula of success has been to give it to Delvin McMillan. He scored 9 of the team's 11 points, whereas the white team, all 9 of their goals have come from Scott Severin. And you're kind of noticing out there, the red team has a lot more experience. For some of these athletes, this is their only time they'll be playing quad rugby year-round. Other players play it year-round, and you kind of been able to notice that with the red team, huh, Leon?
Well, you see now the red team, actually I know all 4 of those guys, and 2 guys with the Nationals. 2 guys out there are Division I rugby players. So you can tell they know how to pick, they know how to play defense, they know chair positioning. And luck of the draw that they got 4 guys who play a lot on one team.
As Scott Severin has getting his wheel changed right now. And Scott Severin, certainly one of those players who this isn't his first quad rugby match. I think it's been pretty easy to see that, but it's been hard for him to find some offensive help or another go-to player that he can trust with the ball thus far.
Yeah, there's another advantage too by playing a lot all year round is that I know Chet, I know Delvin, so I know what they can and can't do before we even got here. So I already know how to play with them already. Where Scott's got to learn these guys basically on the fly right now.
And lucky for you, as you're commentating with us, getting a little scouting in for tomorrow.
True that, true that.
Well, it looks like white teams changing strategy and put more defensive players out there with the ability in front of their chairs. Instead of being rounded, they can hook on the other chairs. So
as Chet Miller gets his 3rd goal of the day. For the white team, they have Paul Mann, along with Gary Pearson, Scott Severin, and Alonzo Burnett.
Good defense there, good defense. Proud him up the jump.
Has to be careful, he can't go over that halfway mark once his passes similar to the over and back in basketball. Severin needs the passes, he gets a dribble in. He's looking for someone. He's got
high risk, high game.
Paul Mann. He's unable to get it.
I was saying all game there is you got to make Scott pass.
Delvin McMillan with the ball. The Bessemer, Alabama native is also competing in air guns and bowling, as well as quad rugby, where he scores again, bringing the score to 13-9. On the floor for the red team is Earl Richardson, Todd Kemery, along with Chet Miller.
The key to stopping a big man is don't get his speed up. And they're always harassing Scott right now. Make him turn a lot.
And Scott's gonna have to pass as he's bottled up. Trying to get around the corner. He's telling his teammates are clogging the lane. And Gary Pearson better watch out before he gets a 10-second call.
The key's being patient there for Scott. A lot of guys were rushed that, but he was patient. He got time. Now what Red could do right now is Earl could back pick, and this will be 3-on-4. Like he's about to do right now. You see Earl should do now is release.
McMillan scoring again. We see multiple times he gets one wheel off the ground. Part of that is probably he's one of the lightest players out there on the floor.
And I get a chance to see that. I talk about experience. I knew that Earl was going to back pick before he even got there. He knows the game. Three guys on Scott. Make him pass.
Trying to find Paul Mann, but McMillan will scoop it up, and he's got a full head of steam ahead of him. And he will score. 15-10 is the score. We're in the second quarter.
see by the good picks that they're setting on red team, Delvin's school is a lot more easier than Scott is.
Penalty, red, 1.
We have a penalty on the red team here.
Another good rule is never reach in the backcourt. Now it's 4-on-3. Never reach in the backcourt, if you can hear me.
And so Earl Richardson will take a short break as his team is playing shorthanded. Now Richardson will be out for either a minute or until the white team scores.
Same defense though, make Scott pass.
And it doesn't look like he's gonna need to pass this time. McMillan doing all he can, but it won't be enough. As Severn scores, bring the score to 15-11. That will allow Earl Richardson to return to the game. Once again, he will score. McMillan has scored 13 of his team's 16 goals thus far. We thank you for joining us here on xable.com. As Scott Severn takes a timeout.
You can't get the ball and then you call a timeout, that way it won't be a turnover. But you're limited how many timeouts you have, so you gotta save them because they're precious.
Just taking a timeout is certainly better than either getting a 10-second or 12-second call, especially with 6 to burn. So usually a smart play.
That's correct. Also a sign that Red's playing good team defense and the other team is being on timeouts.
White has 2 timeouts.
You also see Delvin's got a lot of that speed because he sits low and he's got a lot of dump. Gives him a lot of contact on the handle. You get a nice long stroke even with that with his amplitude runs.
Well, there's plus the magic about being high and low. I sit pretty high. I have a 27-inch wheel, so you have a higher top end speed with a bigger wheel, but it takes more energy to get it started. Whereas small wheel, like he has 24, 25, fast acceleration but lower top end speed. And because his wheel's so small and his ability to use his chair, his trunk, he turns on dime. And goes on one wheel now, so I gotta be a hater. Because I use all 4 wheels, but that's okay.
Well, he's also, by sitting down low, he's able to compensate for a little bit of that by lengthening his strokes.
Correct. I like to sit high. Yeah. Go ahead. I like to sit high because that way you can get the ball, I can see better, and less stress on the shoulders and arms. The lower you sit down like that, it's harder on your shoulders.
Well, he's got that trunk, so he's throwing his trunk in it as well when he pushes. So a little bit different than some of the other players here. And on contrast, Scott Severn, he sits a bit higher, so you can see the game.
Now Scott's weaving back and forth, trying to find some openings.
He has Paul Man open in front of him.
Good defense.
And they got him bottled up.
Is make him pass.
Chet Miller tries to strip him. See, gets it off to Alfonso. Gets it back to Severn. And they have him triple teamed as he's able to get it off to Evans, back to Severn. And he muscles his way through there to get the score, 16-12 to score. So we know what the Reds' plan is on defense. Is slow down Severn, double team, make him pass. What is White trying to do on defense here?
White is having a hard time stopping Delvin one-on-one. And since we have 4 ball handlers basically on the red team, so the best defense is being a zone, and they'll get beat with breakaway points all the time.
Well, white teams try to play the zone, use their defenses, their pickers down there by the end zone. The problem is they just don't have the speed.
Gets it to Paul Mann. He dishes it off to Alonzo Evans. So we have our first fall of the match.
If he hadn't caught himself, it would have been a lot easier.
Has Chet Miller on the ground as he gets helped up.
And I know you can fall down, you keep on going, but since the other team turned their back and stopped going to score, the referee called a safety timeout.
And with that, Todd Kemery of the red team will take a 30-second timeout. I believe it's their first of the game here in the second quarter of this quad rugby match. Score 17-12 with the red team on top. Looks like Red's gonna be making some substitutions here.
Should I be concerned about the red team now?
.354 left here in the second quarter.
I got to go spend a couple hours downtown before I did that. Chet's using this timeout to adjust his chair and adjust his position after getting flipped out and losing some of his straps. He's got repositioned so he can play well.
I play a hard-hitting game. Sometimes I have like 6 straps, 2 on my legs and 2 on my laps.
Out for the white team is Paul Mann, Gary Pearson, Scott Severn, along with Alonzo Burnett. So they inbound it into Severn.
Am I going to bust a move?
McMillan hassling Severn. As Lonzo Evans comes up to help him out. Earl Richardson gets screened by Paul Mann.
I have to say, Scott's being very patient, even-handed.
Nice screen there by Paul Mann, a 37-year-old from Farmersville, Ohio. At the games last year, he medaled in all 5 of his events, which included discus, javelin, shot put, weightlifting, and quad rugby.
That means he beat me last year, too. Something wrong with that one for this year.
As McMillan is being patient, waiting for his path to open up.
We see Delvin doing now, he's kind of baiting 2 guys to come to him. And when 2 guys squeeze on him, he passes over their head. And I saw another rule there. You cannot have 4 men in the key on defense, only 3. So a good tactic is try to bump somebody into the key. That would be 4 players in key and 1 man sit in the box. As you see right now, or here right now.
So Red will, on the penalty, will take it from the sideline. Getting it into Delvin McMillan, who quickly scores, bringing the score to 18-13. Just under 3 minutes left here in the second quarter. Severn weaving in and out of the red defense. Got to get it over before the 12-second call.
More good defense.
And he is unable to.
Second roll.
So with 2:40 left, Red will take over. They hold a 5-point lead.
As you can see, picks are very important. Low pointers in rugby are very important. Makes high pointer jobs a lot easier.
As McMillan scores again for the red team, checking in for the first time is Timothy Vixay.
He did score there. What Scott did is hit off his lap and they went out of bounds.
Okay. So Severn with a nice defensive play there.
I don't like that rule per se because it's incentive for people on defense just to let the ball out of your hand. So they can mug you for free.
As Alonzo Burnett will get his elbow pad tightened up. Paul Mann to inbound it for the white team. Gets it into Severn. Severn trapped. He's got to hurry to get it across that halfway line. And he does. And he will coast into the goal.
Goal, Scott Severn.
Mentioned earlier that number 3, Tim Vixay, is making his first appearance. He is the only novice on either one of these teams This being his first games.
Actually, he's kind of like the enemy because he plays for Portland next year. And I'm in Northridge, so we're in the same division, so I'm out for him. Number 3.
McMillan gets bottled up, gets a dribble down. He's looking to pass. Said he'll take it back and reset.
Okay.
Now he's going to present some really good seriously going. At the goal, red 4.
So he sneaks into the corner there.
You only need 2 wheels to get across the line for a score. It's all Delvin to squeeze right in to make it.
Now, so the front wheels count or just the side wheels?
Actually, any 2 wheels. It can be 1 front wheel and the 1 big wheel.
Okay.
That's why you can score backwards, the back of 2 wheels. Or known as casters if you're kind of nerdy. They're counting 1001, 1002, 1003.
He's gonna have to pass. Gets it up to Alonzo Burnett.
He caught it. Wow, that's big.
So someone other than Scott Severin able to score for the white team.
We've seen a little teamwork on the white team and they get more success.
The officials call timeout.
Hopefully I get Scott a break now. He can actually pass somebody instead of working his way through.
You see the importance of strapping. Scott's strap came loose around his waist and they tightened it up. That allows you want the chair to become one with the person. Gives you that maneuverability and speed.
So now Severin's tightly strapped in. We will get back to play. With McMillan assessing his options on offense.
00 should actually pick number 11. And 3 should be in the corners. Should be 2 men in the corners.
Tries to roll it.
White ball.
Now you know why they're in the zone. Much better than playing man-to-man full court press. Is that their first turnover?
I think that was the first turnover.
1 minute left in the half. 1 minute.
Just 1 minute left here in the first half of play. And Scott once again is hooking up with Burnett again. McMillan able to knock it off.
You must come and get the ball.
See there for the low pointers, it's a lot harder for them to grip the ball, and McMillan taking advantage of that, trying to just strip it, rip it out of his lap. And Paul Mann will inbound it. Big hit there by McMillan.
Scott pass 11, number 11. He's open. He trusts it though. And
Gets it to Burnett.
oh, he caught it.
Nice pass there by Burnett to give and go.
Why is scoring a lot more now? Now Scott can trust 00, Lonnie or Alonzo. Much easier to score now.
And some of those low point players, that's one of the most valuable things they can do beyond setting screens is those give and goes. Right as the red team is looking to score, the first half comes to an end. The score 19-16. The red is on top. Much different from yesterday when Scott Severin led the white team to a fairly large halftime lead. We're going to take a short break here for halftime, and we'll come back with more second half action here on xable.com.